We're going deeper into the dream.
Ebesit kata, etwa ost.
Maraskata.
Your forces have failed. Leave now and tell the Qunari to trouble me no further.
Look at that armor! Why couldn't you do that against Corypheus, you dumbo?
Solas. That should give us more time. I suspect you have questions.
Is there a punch him in the face? How did you do that? I came to find you. You work for Fen'harel? There's no punch him in the face. There should be a punch him in the face.
The Qunari believe you're an agent for someone who has taken the name Fen'harel.
The Qunari reject myth and legend. If you told them of your meeting with Mythal, they would attribute it to a demon. I am no one's agent but my own. I fear that the truth is much simpler and much worse than the Qunari believe.
You're Fen'harel.
Yeah, we knew
I was
that.
Solas first. Fen'harel came later. An insult I took as a badge of pride. The dread wolf inspired hope in my friends, and fear in my enemies. Not unlike Inquisitor, I suppose. You also know the burden of a title that all but replaces your name.
Attack him. Wow, I could just, like, go straight. I mean, I have a feeling he could stop me. You're like Mythal, then? I think that's what Novus would say.
Are you a fragment of what Fen'harel once was? Like Mythal?
No. This is all I have ever been.
And the legends?
I sought to set my people free from slavery to would-be gods. I broke the chains of all who wished to join me. The false gods called me Fen'harel, and when they finally went too far, I formed the Veil and banished them forever. Thus I freed the Elven people, and in so doing, destroyed their world.
Wow, there's a lot here, isn't there? Why did you form the Veil? The Elven guards aren't dead. How did the gods go too far? How did they become gods? What happens next? The Veil destroyed the world. Start with the start.
You love the Fade. Why would you create the Veil to hide it all away?
Because every alternative was worse.
Meaning?
Had I not created the Veil, the Evanuris would have destroyed the entire world.
Okay.
How did creating the Veil destroy the world?
You saw the remains of Via Dethara. The library was intrinsically tied to the Fade, and the Veil destroyed it. There were countless other marvels, all dependent on the presence of the Fade, all destroyed. Your legends are half right. We were immortal. It was not the arrival of humans that caused us to begin aging. It was me. The Veil took everything from the elves, even themselves.
Wow.
You banished the false gods. You didn't kill them.
You met Mythal, did you not? The first of my people do not die so easily. The Evanuris are banished forever, paying the ultimate price for their misdeeds.
You said that the elven gods went too far. What did they do that made you move against them?
They killed Mythal. A crime for which an eternity of torment is the only fitting punishment.
I thought Mythal was one of the Evanuris.
She was the best of them. She cared for her people. She protected them. She was a voice of reason. And in their lust for power, they killed her.
Okay.
The Evanuris were elven mages. How did they come to be remembered as gods?
Slowly. It started with a war. War breeds fear. Fear breeds a desire for simplicity. Good and evil, right and wrong, chains of command. After the war ended, generals became respected elders, then kings, finally gods. The Evanuris.
Okay, I think I get it. So, the elven gods were never gods to begin with. They were elven mages who were really powerful. Became known as gods, were immortal because of the veil and the fade and all of that stuff. Or the fade, but then the veil to create. So it's okay. It all kind of makes sense in context a bit.
That's the past. What about the future?
I lay in dark and dreaming sleep while countless wars and ages passed. I woke still weak a year before I joined you. My people fell for what I did to strike the Evanuris down. But still, some hope remains for restoration. I will save the elven people, even if it means this world must die.
Interesting. Why is it necessary?
Why does this world have to die for the elves to return?
A good question, but not one I will answer. You have always shown a thoughtfulness I respected. It would be too easy to tell you too much. I am not Corypheus. I take no joy in this. But the return of my people means the end of yours. It is my fight. You should be more concerned about the Inquisition. Your Inquisition. In stopping the Dragon's Breath, you have prevented an invasion by Qunari forces. With luck, they will return their focus to Tevinter. That should give you a few years of relative peace.
Wow, we're seeing the next game right now.
The Qunari said the Inquisition was unknowingly working for agents of Fen'harel.
I gave no orders.
You led us to Skyhold.
Corypheus should have died unlocking my orb. When he survived, my plans were thrown into chaos. When you survived, I saw the Inquisition as the best hope this world had of stopping him. And you needed a home. Hence, Skyhold.
You gave your orb to Corypheus.
Not directly. My agents allowed the Venatori to locate it. The orb had built up magical energy while I lay unconscious for millennia. I was not powerful enough to open it. The plan was for Corypheus to unlock it, and for the resulting explosion to kill him. Then I would claim the orb. I did not foresee a Tevinter Magister having learned the secret of effective immortality.
What would have happened if Corypheus had died and you had recovered the orb?
I would have entered the Fade using the mark you now bear. Then I would have torn down the veil. As this world burned in the raw chaos, I would have restored the world of my time. The world of the elves.
Gosh, am I gonna have to kill him?
If you destroyed the veil, wouldn't the false gods be freed?
I had plans.
What I want to say to him is, dude, your people are gone. That world is gone. This is the world that exists. Gonna have to stop it.
So at least some of the stories about the Dread Wolf are true?
I did not lead a rebellion against immortal mage kings without getting my hands bloody. You must understand. I awoke in a world where the veil had blocked most people's conscious connection to the Fade. It was like walking through a world of tranquil.
We aren't even people to you.
Not at first. You showed me that I was wrong. Again. That does not make what must come next any easier.
You never cared about us. We were the means to an end.
You were people, and you deserved better. Like all the rest I've used in one hopeless battle after another.
Well, that's a weird camera angle.
What's wrong with the Inquisition?
You created a powerful organization. And now it suffers the inevitable fate of such. Betrayal and corruption.
It's not that simple.
Isn't it? Perhaps we should ask your friend, the Iron Bull. Tell me, where is he?
Shh,
Do you
don't
know
talk about
how I
that.
discovered the Qunari plot? The plot I disrupted by leading them to your doorstep. The Canary spies in the Inquisition tripped over my spies in the Inquisition. The Elven Guard who led you to the Canary body? Who intercepted the servant with the Gatlock barrel? Mine.
This guy.
Why bother disrupting the Canary plot if you're going to destroy the world regardless?
You have shown me that there is value in this world, Inquisitor. I take no joy in what I must do. Until that day comes, I would see those recovering from the breach free of the Qun.
Why?
Because I am not a monster. If they must die, I would rather they die in comfort. In any event, it is done.
So you let us do your dirty work?
The mistake was yours to fix, Inquisitor.
You control the Eluvians now?
Yes. You remember Briala from Hallam Shiral? For a time, she controlled part of the labyrinth. One of my agents was supposed to take it from her, but he did not succeed. I had to override the magic personally. The Canary stumbled upon this section independently. With them gone, the Eluvians are now mine.
Okay.
There's still the matter of the anchor. It's getting worse.
Yes, I'm sorry. And we are almost out of time. The mark will eventually kill you. Drawing you here gave me the chance to save you. At least for now.
The Inquisition will try to convince Solas to change his plan. Or, the Inquisition will stop Solas, even if it means killing him. Oh my gosh, what do I choose? The Inquisition will try to convince Solas to change his plan. The Inquisition will stop Solas, even if it means killing him. Wow. I think, that's just a thought, I think Novus would try to stop him, or try to convince his mind, rather, because, or try to reconvince him, because, you know, at the heart, Novus is an elf. He likes elfy things. He's tried to save the elves and do all this work for the elves because there's a huge injustice against them. I think he would try to redeem Solas as opposed to killing him. But at the end of the day, if it meant the people of this world or whatever the heck Solas is doing, he's going to choose the people of this world. I'm going to go with this one for now, and we'll see.
You don't need to destroy this world. I'll prove it to you.
I would treasure the chance to be wrong once again, my friend. Take my hand. I'm sorry. Live well, while time remains.
Man, I wonder what the other option does. I'm a little curious about that. Because it is one of those, like, Novus could go both ways on that. He could just straight up try to kill Solas. But does that make him any better than what all these people are saying he is? If you think about, like, for example, like the people trying to shut down the Inquisition, they would have a point in trying to shut it down if I could just run around killing Fen'harel. This music's too epic for loading. Come on. Get to the cutscene. Eventually. I'll get there eventually. Or not. I mean, it doesn't have to. You know what it is? It's probably that I have to reload out of the 60 FPS thing. Which is a bit unfortunate, but I think that's what's going to have to happen.
Something must be done, but we cannot lose the Inquisition now. We stand on the brink of war with the Canary.
Yes, because this Solas provoked them in the first place.
The Inquisition did not cause this threat. We informed the Summit of the danger.
The danger posed by Qunari spies inside your organization.
Without our organization, none of us would be here to complain.
No one has forgotten what you have done. But Corypheus is 2 years dead.
If the Inquisition is to continue, it must do so as a legitimate organization, not a glorified mercenary band.
Inquisitor.
I have one arm, which is unfortunate because I'm a rogue and dual wield. That sucks. We serve the Divine, not you. The Inquisition will serve Divine Victoria. Efforts against Solas will be stronger, but risk corruption. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of options here. We will keep the peace. Inquisition will serve Divine Victoria. Efforts against Solas will be stronger, but risk corruption. So these are both the same thing, except one will... One's more aggressive, that's all that is. Because they're both serving Divine Victoria, and both efforts against Solas will be stronger. The Inquisition will serve Divine... Oh, this is we need more oversight. Will serve Divine Victoria. Efforts against Solas will be stronger. What's this? The Inquisition will be disbanded. Efforts against Solas will be weaker, but more secure. The Inquisition will be disbanded. Efforts against Solas will be weaker. And this is probably the same thing. I don't know. I seriously don't know. It's going to be one of these two. We will keep the peace or our work here is done. What would disbanding... Okay, so this one, I just got to read it again. Inquisition will serve Divine Victoria. Efforts against Solas will be stronger, but risk corruption. The Inquisition will be disbanded. Efforts against Solas will be weaker, but more secure. I almost feel like... Okay, let's talk this through. If we continue with the Inquisition, we will be stronger against Solas, but we risk being corrupted, right? So what does that mean? We'll be able to try to stop him, and like effectively stop him, not stalk him. But the Qunari may try to, do their attack again, that kind of stuff. If we end it, we can kind of work more in the shadows, trying to stop Solas. But what? I just gotta speak from the gut here. What would Novus do? Out of everything he's seen, Solas is trying to basically end the world that we know. The Tevinter isn't helping with this whole process, and Novus wants to convince Solas to not do that. There's also the matter of Cassandra, and he has interest there. It will be a holy war, then.
You all know what this is. A writ from Divine Justinia authorizing the formation of the Inquisition. We pledge to close the breach, find those responsible, and restore order, with or without anyone's approval. I'm proud to say we accomplished that goal. We will honor the sacrifices of those who gave their lives in defense of what we stood for, and still stand for. Because our work is not done. Where we led in war, we will now serve in peace. The Inquisition will act as Divine Victoria's personal honor guard. Answering directly to her, we will transition from a military force into a peacekeeping organization. My own adventuring days may be done, but the Inquisition and its mission will continue.
It's interesting, actually. It's really interesting. That was cute. Aw. That was a good outro scene. Just goodbye. Over the next several months, the Inquisition carefully gave over many of the duties it had held. Do I click to move forward? As the Divine's personal guard and peacekeeping force, the Inquisition shrank to a more manageable size. Okay. I may just have to wait for this to... Yeah. Many who had served went home, though the remaining force was still enough to give pause to any who might threaten the Divine's plans. Those who served the new Inquisition were tested and checked thoroughly in the hope of ferreting out any more spies within its ranks. With the Dragon's Breath disrupted and any hope of a swift victory dashed, the Qunari retreated back to the north. Few knew what debates were waged in Parvalan, but not long after the Exalted Council, the Qunari launched new attacks against Tevinter. Okay, so that was the best we could hope for, according to Solas. Their aggression caught the already unstable Imperium off guard. Tevinter was soon mired in a war many feared could spread across Thedas. Cassandra continued her reign as Divine Victoria, rebuilding fractured alliances and settling the Inquisition into its new role as her personal guard. It's like the Imperial Guard. Oh my gosh, this is literally Star Wars. We chose the best option. Her efforts were successful, and for a time, Southern Thedas saw peace. I'm expecting a but. Oh, no. Cassandra also spent time in the Hunterhorn Mountains north of Orlais, where she worked to rebuild the Seekers. Oh, yes! You rock! For a time, the new Seekers remained reclusive, showing no interest in worldly affairs and working to a purpose few outside their order could guess. Oh, to stop Solas. That's what she created him for. While Divine Victoria could never marry, it was obvious that she remained close to the Inquisitor. I like this. The romance, impossible as it was sincere, became the subject of courtly songs about the woman who went to the Maker, leaving the man she loved. Oh, that's a good story. But always glancing back and smiling when she saw that he was there. Nice, I like that. Vivian was elected Grand Enchanter of the Circle of Magi, but her inauguration was not as triumphant as she hoped for. I already read that. Those veteran mages of the Inquisition who did not return to the fold formed a new college of enchanters as a rival organization to her circle. Wow. Okay. The two institutions settled into an uneasy coexistence across the south, vying for power. We're gonna have war. Mage war. Leliana continued to act as the Inquisitor spymaster in its final months as an independent organization. And then she went off and said, "Be free, my birds!" No, that's not written there, but I mean, that's what the thing looks like. During this time, she shared many of her responsibilities with her most trusted agents, including Charter, Rector, and Harding. Ah, Scout Harding, you're the best. Many believed that Leliana feared what lay on the horizon and was grooming successors in anticipation of the challenges ahead. Sarah left the Inquisition with scarcely more ties than when she began, disappearing back into her confusing weave of favors and friends. Kind of expected that. After seeing the world brought to the brink by arrogance and pride, it was a blessing to return to normal, however strange normal might be. So she basically turned into a vigilante. I like it. She is the Green Arrow. With frequent visits to her whittle, of course. Oh, her and Scout freaking Harding. Look at that. Obvious. Perhaps most unnerving was Sarah's standing offer to the Divine. What was that? Oh. I bet we're going to get it, but that's really funny in the background. With the knobs piss, or when the knobs piss about with your left hand or right, call on Red Jenny to give them 2 fingers. Varric took upon the role, or took up the role of Viscount, and with the help of his friend Hawk, yes, rebuilt Kirkwall's damaged infrastructure. Under his rule, the city-state finally resumed its place as the major trade hub of the Free Marches. Oh, is that supposed to be what's-her-nut on the right there? Oh, why can't I remember her name? He continued to ignore all mail from both the Merchants Guild and the Prince of Starkhaven. But Sebastian... It was never clear if the Iron Bull knew he would be forced to turn upon the Inquisition, or if he was lying the entire time. Oh, he's definitely dead. Look at that. He's like super dead. Regardless, after his death, Vishoth mercenaries across Orlais and Ferelden were looked upon with suspicion. Man, that's really sad, though, to lose him like that. Those who remained in the south found their lives even harder as a result. The poor Gunari. After the Inquisition transitioned to a peacekeeping role, Cullen continued to serve as commander of its forces. Cool. Though I bet he didn't like it too much. Look at that face. That's a face of not liking it. Under his leadership, the Inquisition protected the Divine's interest while enforcing new standards of security. So we were basically the Imperial Guard. Cullen also expanded the Chantry's treatment for Templars whose minds were taken by lyrium, as well as those who wished to cease lyrium usage. Yes! We did it! And as chaos reigned in the north and threats to the Divine lurked in every shadow, Cullen remained ready to serve. Dorian returned to Tevinter to take his father's place in the Magisterium. Wait, who's that next to him? Huh. As rumors flew about the Imperium's infighting, Dorian was spoken of often as a voice of resistance against corruption. Yay, Dorian! Along with the Magisterium Mivaris Tilani, he formed a group called the Lucerne to restore the redeemed Tevinter, a fight many thought hopeless. Those fighting by Magister Pavis's side noted that he kept in constant communication with the Inquisitor via message crystal. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Whether for vital information or for moral support, these talks seemed to give Dorian the strength to continue his fight. Especially because, Tevinter's about to be assaulted by all of the Qunari. Tom Raynor was shown mercy when none was deserved and set on a path of redemption. This gift, so compassionately given, needed to be shared. Freed from his obligations to the Inquisition, Raynor traveled Thedas, giving hope to the condemned and the forgotten. In the deepest prisons and pits of Thedas, he found, if not goodness itself, its potential. By showing faith in those who had none, Raynor lifted them up and made them into something better than they were. After easing the Inquisition's transition into the Chantry, Josephine returned to Antiva and her family. She was soon approached by an agent from the House of Repose, whose assassins had been killed by Inquisition agents on Josephine's behalf. Oh, that's right. Far from being offended, the House of Repose was inquiring as to whether Josephine might have the need of their services. Oh, that's really cool. Is she going to become like this new head of assassins? She quickly persuaded them she had no need for assassins, but instead hired them as guards for the Montilier's new trading vessels. Yes, we succeeded there. Ravani pirates, looking to rekindle an ancient feud, soon learned that the Montilier ship were not lightly boarded, and her house prospered greatly. Cole took to the road with Meriden to find a new life and a new way to be human. Oh, the bard. Oh, that's really cool. Wherever Meriden went to sing, people found old pains eased and their hearts made happier, even if they didn't understand why. That's so cool. After the events at the Winter Palace, elves left the Inquisition under mysterious circumstances, as did elven servants across Thedas. Oh, crap, Solas. None could say where they went, but those who believed the Inquisitor's story about Fen'harel wondered just how large the Dread Wolf's forces were. Yeah. And what the ancient elven rebel had planned. Saw that coming. Is that it? We did it. Look, I'm a gimp. Now I can get a robotic arm and be like Luke Skywalker.
My agents had found nothing. With the Illuvians, he could be anywhere.
Maintaining the Inquisition, even as a peacekeeping force, leaves us vulnerable to agents of the Dread Wolf.
But also gives us the strength to respond.
We will need to be careful.
Solas knows everything about us. Who we are, how we work, our strengths and weaknesses.
Then we find people he doesn't know. We will save our friend from himself. If we can.
We need to find the Warden. Oh, that would be a cool way to end this. That's headcanon for me. We're gonna go find the Warden. Man, what a good DLC. Good job, Mike. Nailing it, man. Good job, everybody at BioWare. This is a good way to end the game. It felt like a good send-off, you know, like a... See, the thing with, the Dragon Age 2 DLC is it didn't feel like a good send-off. It felt like a good, there's more coming, wait for it. This feels more like okay, I'm done with Inquisition. I've played what I could, and it's time to move on. But in a way that isn't like, now I'm just anxiously awaiting the new game. I feel like I have completed this, and now I can patiently wait for the next one to come out, because I have such confidence that it's going to be amazing. But it's really good, man. That game, this whole thing has been amazing. This whole DLC. I'm glad I did it. I really am. I'm gonna go play it again too, with my other characters. Love it. Love it. That was a good ending. I don't know whether or not it was better to keep the Inquisition together or not, but I guess we'll see in the next game. And heck, they've been teasing stuff on Twitter this past week, but that's probably for like a tactics game or something stupid that I'll play. With that being said, thanks everybody at Bioware. Thanks for watching. I mean, holy crap. We've had a long series, over 180 episodes of Dragon Age Inquisition. It's nuts. It's been a long road. Thanks for watching. We shall see you guys next time.
Is this a new book? All this shit is weird. Oh, Varric, that is a terrible title. What are you even thinking? The sky churned like a rolling sea on a dark and stormy night, centered on a gaping hole that led to the arse end of nowhere. A hole that spit up many things that day. Comets, demons, and a whole lot of trouble. It's about the Inquisition. The din of the tavern cut the silence like it owed the carter money. In the middle, in her element, Red Jenny. She looked me up and down, mostly down. Not playing, weirdy, she said, gesturing with and dismissively eating a sandwich. Don't write that. Seriously, piss up a row. Sarah made the subtext text, which suited me fine. Court enchanter swirled into the room like a drop of beautiful poison spreading in a wineglass. She sized me up with a glance. I'm so glad you made it, my dear, she said. I am Madame de Fair, the most terrifying person you shall ever meet. Enfolded Alphonse in an embrace as warm as a serpent's kiss. I always knew I could count on your support. The Count did not feel the bite of her poisoned dart until it was too late. Even if it requires your death. Drops of rain glistened on the griffin medallion grasped tightly in Blackwall's hand. The silverite wings of valor, they mean nothing. He flung the medal to the cold and uncaring ground. You don't know what I've done. You don't know me. So romantic. Cole moved like a shadow that also moved like a knife. A shadow wearing a hat where dreams came to die. It's a riddle, he whispered. A cold riddle that gnaws at your mind, but you'll feel better when it's gone. That makes as much sense as anything Cole says. Do you place your herald above the law, Ambassador? Whose law, my lady? Josephine's eyes glittered like angry opals. The law destroyed by rebellion, by civil war, by poor fiscal management. We are the law. We left our mark on Adamant, but the dust hadn't settled, and neither had Harding. I can offer you a drink, if I catch your meaning. If you'd caught my meaning, you'd have offered a double. What is even happening here? The Iron Bull was a great slab of muscle with horns that could hang a tapestry. One eye scanned for threats, while the other hid behind an eye patch like a chantry sister's old sins. Come on, he barked, not looking back as he entered. The dancer with the great rack comes on in 5. That is spot on, actually. The commander had the look of a Templar who had seen the worst of humanity, yet still had the time to style his hair. This isn't just a war, he said, his gaze steely like a dull blade. It's the only war. Cullen! That's Cullen! The mage wore a class of handsome sneer cultivated by 1,000 years of Tevinter elitism. The name's Dorian, he glared. D-O-R-I-A-N. Spell it right, you marble-headed lump, or it's toad time. A toad? That's hardly credible. The bold elf spun, mage staff crackling like the city after a good man's murder. You're crazy, the Red Templar cried in terror. Moonlight glinted off ears like the knives you never see coming. Better to fade out than burn away. Ugh, Varric. Wait, where am I? I don't... Oh, here it is. The Seeker clutched at my vest, her tears as desperate as they were pitiful. Varric, I was wrong about everything, she sobbed. Could you find it in your noble heart to forgive me? That dwarf, he put me in the book! I'm in the book! I am reading the shit out of this!